Are you ready, kids? Get your parents' permission, check your mailbox, and grab your shopping cart. It's time for the Adventures in Collecting podcast.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Dave. Welcome to Adventures in Collecting, where we talk toy news, culture, and hauls,
along with our journeys as collectors.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Adventures in Collecting. We are here at New York Toy Fair once again with returning guest and friend of the pod, the Todd father himself, Todd McFarlane.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? We're going to do this interview, but I'm going to have my head down for most of it because I've got to sign hundreds, actually thousands of different cards that we put into the toys. So I got to put an autograph on the back of it. So if my head's down, it's not that I'm falling asleep. I guess you can actually even see it in the camera there. And then as soon as I get done with one pile, I got another pile, and I just keep going until I'm done. So they're going to ask questions, we're going to answer, but I got to get some work done at the same time.
Yeah, you get to see how the sausage is made.
Exactly.
Right? So, I mean, you're signing all these Spawn cards right now. Let's start off by talking about Spawn. You have some new Spawn product out there on the floor. We saw it. I am actually super interested in the little minifigures that you're doing for Spawn. Can you tell us a little bit about the why you chose to go with that format?
Well, here's the thing: the vast majority of what we do is licensed product, and technically, Spawn is a licensed product, right? Because my comic company owns it. But whenever we come up with an idea to try and do another form factor or another price point. Sometimes the easiest way to try it is with Spawn because we don't have to go get a license, right? So sometimes we have ideas. We go, oh man, we want to do this cute little thing. We want to do this fun little thing, and then we go and ask people, and they go, no, this company and this company and this company, already do that for us. We don't need it. You're done. So Spawn was the obvious choice to try it on a couple of them to just see if anybody sort of thinks it's cool.
Well, I think they're cool.
Yeah, they do look very cool.
Hey, get in here. Look at. Don't you think there's too much space here? I'm going to get him to move here. He's just being way too shy.
You're really getting how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
You get creative director Todd too.
This is good, right? Look at. There's no gap now.
No gaps in the shoulders.
Good. That's it. Artistically.
So Spawn being the first kind of avenue to test out that new form factor. How did you spin that into some of the sports stuff that you did? Within that same minifigure form?
Well, again, you just go back to the people you've got a license from, and you show them what you're doing as sort of a proof of concept, and if we've got data on something we've done before, whether it was Spawn or something else, and then we show it and we go, hey, we want to do your brand on that. Sometimes it's a lot easier to get them to say yes once they've seen it or they can hold it and go, oh, you want to do that trick with our brand over here. Some of the brands, especially on the sports, they don't slice and dice it as much as like other big TV, movie, video game brands where, it seems like there's 100 people here at Toy Fair that have a piece of almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're happy to go, what? You want to do that with our brand? Oh man, cool. Right? Oh, the hockey don't get nearly as many offers as, let's say, the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh man, you want to try that? Yeah, sure, Todd. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, and speaking of which, with hockey and with basketball, see something even more of a new form factor. We've got the articulated figures.
Yeah.
What led from going to the standard sports picks statue format to the articulated figures?
Probably just a couple things. When you think of an action figure, you think it moves. So that's articulation. And then two, just an experiment, right? I mean, we haven't done it before, to your point. So we haven't done it. So let's try it and see if they like one more than the other. I mean, we can get more reality and more accuracy in the sort of the plastic statue ones that we're known for. Once you start going into articulation, you got to start giving away art, if you will. But sometimes people go, oh no, I like having fun with it. I'm as a fan, I don't care that it's 100% accurate because it's doing other things that to me are more interesting or more fun or is more of what I like personally for my collection. So we'll see. I mean, come back. We'll now know by next year, our next interview, that we'll have data to say, hey, did one sell any better than the other?
And are there plans to take that into any other sports? I mean, we saw the articulated basketball figures and the articulated or NBA figures and NHL figures. Are there plans to maybe go into baseball or football?
Oh, yeah. Again, here's the thing, that once you do something that works, then you go, oh, how do we multiply it? You don't figure out how to do less of it. So,
yeah.
Hold it. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did that come from the pile I was signing, or did that come from here?
No, you were out, so I moved some over for you.
Phew, okay.
So that way you can keep signing them.
He's gumming my system up. So I'm like, what? Where'd those come from? Okay.
Now
I was trying to develop a workflow with you. Instead, I just messed you up.
Yeah, gummed it.
So would the original like kind of statue style sports picks continue, or is that going to kind of?
Yeah. I mean, again, I think there's a place for each version of every. I mean, again, you can make a little tiny Superman this big, and you can make one this big and make a statue. Like all we look at is, for the time and effort and revenue that you get, can you at least kind of get to break even a little bit over, just a little bit, to make it worth our time? And if the answer is yes, then you go, oh, we can make a nickel. So if we do it 20 times, you make $1, instead of worrying about getting the dollar all the time, right? So,
well, one of the things that you revealed at New York Comic Con, going back to last year, was the Founder Series, the Image Founder Series line, and that Spawn figure is out there, and it's arguably the best articulated Spawn figure that's ever been produced. So, with the
cape, wired cape.
So thank you for doing that.
Yep.
But also we see the next two out there, and Savage Dragon is one that I'm particularly excited about, and proportionally that thing looks incredible.
Yeah,
the massive arms and little legs.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we're doing some other stuff based on comic books, right? We got the Hellboy and things like that. Some of the stuff from the Ghost Machine. Again, you look at the style that people are used to the most, and then you try and deliver that. So Eric Larson, the writer-artist on Savage Dragon, he's got a pretty distinct look.
Oh, yeah.
And he was pretty adamant that we got it when we were doing it. I think he still thinks the fish should have been bigger. But again, but if you're a fan of that book, then the toy should look like that book.
And if you're familiar with Eric Larson, you know that he is a very particular individual, right?
Well, even more, yes, he is, but even more so, he's done all the books.
Yeah.
So every issue is his look.
Even the one that Jim did, he went back and redid it.
Yes, right. So Jim Lee did an issue, and Eric redid that one, right? But like if you're doing Superman or Spider-Man or whatever that's been around decades, and you've had dozens, if not hundreds, of artists that have done their interpretation, then when you're doing a toy, you're doing an amalgamation, or you have to specifically pick one look and say you're doing that look. But again, for the two that we have there, Shadowhawk and Savage Dragon, those were drawn by the people who created them, and that's the look that everybody knows. There is no 100 people that have tried it.
So for that Founder Series, what's next on the roadmap? Like in terms of hitting those other founding members.
We've got some coming out from Jim Lee, some of the Wildcats. Although in a weird way, that sort of like ties into our DC Multiverse because it's under that banner. Mark Silvestri. We have I think Witchblade figures coming out. Who else am I missing here? I think we're even doing some for like Rob Liefeld's Youngblood.
Okay, great.
I think we've signed that contract and we've just begun that one. And so I'm trying to think of the original founders. So we got 3, and that would be the other 3.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're covered with all of them. Yep.
Yeah, that picture that was going around social media not too long ago about the anniversary of the founding, just seeing the 6 of you, that black and white photo was a nice little throwback.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. Sadly, it doesn't, the boy band getting back together doesn't happen that often. And then there was a time where Jim Valentino was having health issues, so he couldn't get on an airplane.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like, oh man, unless we all basically went close to Portland, we were never going to get the reunion. And then I know we did some reunions, and sometimes Jim Lee, who's now busy with DC Comics,
Yep.
it doesn't make sense, or they don't necessarily want him hanging out with the competition, which I get it. So yeah, it gets harder and harder. But at some point, we could probably do one more, because we're getting older, and once the first person passes away, you can never put the band back together again. Right?
It's true. It's true. And speaking of DC, you guys announced today that you're continuing with the Superpowers line through Entertainment Earth. It's really cool that ended up working out.
Yeah, I mean, again, look at there's a lot to go around.
Yeah.
And what we've been asking, and is just, well, where's their space, right? Like if people were doing it over there, and now another company isn't going to do it, why leave it empty? We will continue to fill the void, or if there is a gap, we will fill the void, right?
Yeah.
My conversation that I had with Warner Brothers Consumer Products was, I get it when you sign a big, Fortune 500 company. That's like, and we're in Los Angeles, so I was using sports vernacular that they would understand.
Yeah.
I go, look I understand you just signed Shohei Ohtani. I get it. You got the big dog. That all makes sense. I get it. You should do that. But before you signed Shohei Ohtani, I thought we were Mookie Betts. And so here's what the Dodgers did not do when they signed Shohei Ohtani. They didn't get rid of Mookie Betts. The way that it works is you take your 25 players.
Yeah.
You take a guy like Shohei, you put him in the number one slot, then one becomes two becomes three. You just move everybody down one slot, and the person who leaves is the one that was at number 25 on the 25-man roster.
Yeah.
So you traded your 25th guy for Shohei Ohtani. That's a huge upgrade. You don't go, I'm going to trade my 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's a great analogy.
I keep telling them, let me be Mookie. Right? That's my whole thing. I'm going to have a shirt. I'm going to make it for all of them. Let McFarlane Toys be Mookie. So
that's great. Yeah, I mean, you need that. You need that number 2, and you guys have done a great job of continuing that that Kenner aesthetic in the Superpowers line. So very happy to hear that you guys are still going to be in the picture with the DC stuff.
The bigger one for me too is there are things that are being done out there by other companies that are smaller than us, that are less effective. Then let us have that. Like, it's weird that don't take us up the batting order, right? Just let us do that when that contract comes up for that product. They'll let us do that because we can get it. I think we can make a better quality product, and we can get it distributed in wider places, right?
Okay.
So we get that. We would be an upgrade over there and over there and over there. But that's the whole of bring in the big free agent and then make everybody go down one notch and slot everybody in and get the maximum value you can out of everybody. So we'll see where it all ends.
So as for the DC multiverse stuff, as we kind of come to we're talking about the end of the year. It's only February.
Yep.
Is there still more to be revealed for the rest of the year, or have we kind of seen what we can expect for the rest of the year?
Yeah, the majority of it, because again, the contract officially ends at the end of the year.
Yep.
And I think, and I understand it. Everybody wants to give a nice sort of free, wide berth and see what Mattel is going to do out there, and then if there's sort of gaps and or weaknesses in corners, then you come back and you go, hey, can you guys help sort of level this rocky sort of road out a little bit, because we've got openings over here and over here, right? So you just fill gaps, and hopefully we don't know where the gaps are right now. So we'll wait and see if there's any that makes sense for us and for Warner Brothers to say, oh yeah, man, you guys would be the perfect guys to do it.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
This segment is brought to you by our friends at Chubsy Wubsy Toys. A traditional mom-and-pop toy store in Little Falls, New Jersey, Chubsy Wubsy Toys brings you the best new toys from the brands you love without the hassle of pounding the pavement searching for them at larger retail stores. Visit them in person at their brand new home at 101 Newark Pompton Turnpike, Suite 1 in Little Falls, New Jersey, or online at chubsywubsy.com. That's CHUBZYWUBZZY.com. And tell them Adventures in Collecting sent you.
And now, back to the show.
Well, getting that '89 style Joker out.
Yep.
That's a big deal. If that's the swan dive
And-
off the into the deep end.
And the Superman Brandon Routh.
Yeah,
Like, those are the two biggies.
Those are two that a lot of people wanted, and myself included.
Yeah, no. Again,
So,
and it was
yeah.
part of our success. We were able to go really deep because, again, we're not a big public company, so our bar of quote unquote what we term internally successful is a lot lower than other companies. Look at years ago, I got sports.
Yep.
I picked up sports because the stock market had gotten a little bit tight, and all the big public toy companies got a little, and I heard through the grapevine at that point that if they didn't make $35 million on a line, drop it.
Oh wow.
And so, for small companies, $35 million, that's a grand slam, right?
Yeah.
So you're going, woo, right? And so for them, they're like, we don't want it. And so the sports had fallen underneath that threshold, bam, and I was able to like catch it before it hit the ground, going, I'll take $33 million of business, like,
real.
so you just watch what's happening in the landscape and just see how the business sort of plays out, and again, what they want to focus on and what they don't want to focus on, and then you see if you can then find an inroad to the ones where they're ignoring, right? Again, you don't ever want to sort of double up on anything. That doesn't make any kind of sense.
Yeah.
It's more of, they're not doing that over there. Let us do it over there, right? And so at least there'll be a product that fans might want over there that otherwise would not be done.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're seeing even an expansion of game lines like Helldivers 2, Doom the Dark Ages,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of other stuff.
Warcraft, I saw out
Warcraft,
there, yeah.
Mortal Kombat Classic continuing. Even like Fallout, even though it's kind of like the TV version.
Yeah, and what you'll notice on those is that it's not the same big giant company doing all of it, right? It's more of giving it to smaller companies so they can help expand the brand for you, right? That's all it is brand expansion. And technically done right, it should be additive. What the licensed people want to know, the people who own the brands want to know is it additive to it? Because if all you're doing is selling, $1 million more over here, but you're taking away from over here, it doesn't make any sense. What they want is that everybody's going to be healthy, and this becomes a plus $1 million sale. So the whole of their pie and the fan base is going and expanding, right? That makes sense on a business level for them, which is why you see all the different licenses you do, because they think that they're not really competing. There are different price points, even stuff arguably that kind of looks the same. Usually the big demarcation is that you got different distribution channels, and or sometimes the material you're allowed to make it out of.
Okay.
Right? And so they go, okay, nobody's doing that.
So one of the things that differentiates you from everyone else that's out there is Spawn. I mean, that is a huge differentiating factor.
Yeah, I haven't given it to nobody.
And there's still so many, especially since these kind of new generation of figures with the new articulation, the new detail, there are so many core characters from, the multitude of Spawn issues.
Yeah, there are hundreds and hundreds. Like, somebody did a count for us. I go, hey, I just want to know how many characters have been in the comic book. And this was years ago. And they came up with 1,800 just in Spawn. Now, that includes police officers, judges, doctor, like, so they're not all meaningful. But of those 1,800, there's still a lot. There's like 200, and then we've then expanded into the other books. And I've expanded the Spawn universe. I should call it the McFarlane universe because it confuses people at times, but it doesn't mean Spawn's in every one of them. But we've expanded, and then each one of those books now has all these characters. So I'm guessing now the count is probably closer to 3,500.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So even if only 10% of those were costume characters, that's still 350, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of figures and a lot of cool things you could do with it.
So any chance we're going to see some more of those characters come to life?
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
Like Malbolgia.
Yeah, sure.
Deluxe Malbolgia.
Yeah, no. So the answer is yes. We still have a bunch that we're sort of working on, and again, as the entertainment grows for it, then you're going to be able to. The brand gets bigger, so like those characters might not sell so much right now. You put the word Spawn on top of it, the brand gets big, then it all kind of works in a meaningful way. But yeah, there's no shortage. There's no shortage of, if we wanted to make one of everything.
Yeah.
We could go really deep on Spawn. So.
Well, is that something like the Collectors Club and the crowdfunding stuff?
Like
an avenue.
Yeah, drawing board project.
Yeah.
No, all the above, and then, but the bigger goal is to get the brand of Spawn out into the public, and the easiest way to do that is either TV, movie, video games, right? Where the general public is buying it, going, "Oh my God, I know what that is," right? So, otherwise, you only have so much success if you stay in the bubble. What I call in the bubble. In the bubble is comic geekdom, right?
Yeah.
We got to get out. So all of a sudden, you can say stuff like Walking Dead or The Invincible.
Yeah.
Or like these ones that have, even recently, The Beauty is now on TV. So people go, oh man, I've heard of that, because they watched it on TV or went to the movie or whatever else, and they don't even know at times that the source material is comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you could still sell product based on the brand because people now know about it.
Yep. Well, I mean, I know that the movie is an ongoing topic, ongoing discussion, right?
Yeah.
In constant development. So hopefully, that moves forward for you, so that way we can get us. Some more
like I said,
Spawn figures.
I talked to a couple of the big people working on it right now. But the next big piece of information is just going to be we sold it.
Okay.
That will be the next big. Even if we have a script and I like it and we love it, I'm not even going to sort of let anybody know. It's just a means to an end to then go, let's go maybe get one or two more actors. Let's put the final team together and then sell that team with that script to potentially a studio and make the right deal, and then announce that, because we make that deal, then that's not a development deal, that's a production deal.
Yeah.
And then we can go, we just sold it to studio whoever, and we're going into production around this time, which basically means a movie's coming, right? Because really, the fans on that level only really want to know one thing: I'm gonna go see it.
Yep.
Right? Everything else is like white, but at least if you go, we're making it, and then you can show them some of the behind the scenes while you're making it, and then you cut a good trailer. There are a couple of things that people will still pay attention to, but all the other ones were, hey, we hired that actor, we hired this actor, or whatever. I'm like, nah, we'll make all that announcement like in one big thing, saying we sold it, and here's what we sold, and here's where we're going into production.
So you've been doing the toy business now for over 30 years, right?
Yep.
Across multiple form factors.
Yeah.
Various.
Before I had any grade.
The toy business is what gave you the grades, probably. But is there anything today, like in 2026, about this industry that really surprises you, like and kind of catches you off guard?
The only thing that catches me off guard is that every now and then there will be like a thing that people will grasp onto, right? Like all of a sudden, like they just want like keychains to put on their bag or something like, and then there's like this weird flood that they go there. Sometimes it's short-lived, but when it's on, it burns bright. You guys know.
Yep.
Or they go, oh man, we like blind box, blind box $5 or under or whatever, right? There's like a combo thing, and oddly, the brand that is doing it doesn't have to actually be that big, right? If the brand is big and they're doing it, then you get huge success out of it. So there's that, but the other piece is just the steady longevity of people that you talk to here with your podcast, of that core group of people are super resilient, right? They just, to some extent, want solid brands, good quality with it at a fairly decent price. And if you give us that as a geek, we'll hang around for a long time, almost till maybe we die. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? It's like being a sports fan.
Yep.
You're a fan forever.
Yep.
So, at the beginning, when I started 30 years ago, sort of having a lot of geeky toys wasn't quite anywhere near as mature as it is right now. So you didn't know whether it was going to stick. Mm-hmm. But now it's like, no, it's stuck. And now the question is, who's going to deliver to this crowd that now, as they get older, also are, they expect a lot out of what, I mean, they want, and I get it. They want good looks, value. They want all of it to be there for their money, right? And whoever can deliver the most value for the money, whatever that definition of value is for an individual, I think is going to continue to sort of make inroads into the market. And if you don't, they'll move to somebody who will deliver that.
Yeah, solid point.
Yeah. So, fun question, non-toy related, but we talked about being sports fans.
Okay.
So, Jays fell...
Toronto Blue Jays.
The Toronto Blue Jays fell a little short.
They did, that baseball team during the World Series, correct.
Bo Bichette came over to our Mets. What do we think? Mets Blue Jays World Series this year?
In a perfect world, hey, we got Mr. Met out there.
Let me tell you.
Mr. Met is out there.
I'm a big Mets fan. When I was a kid, they were my favorite team. Every year, the New York Mets hopeful rises.
Yeah, you gotta believe.
Just to get punched in the face. It would be cool. It'd be cool to see the Mets come and finally sort of live up to the potential that the fan base and ownership, because they've been putting a lot of money into it, get something in return for it. The Dodgers are spending the money and they're actually getting a return for it. The problem right now, if you want to call it that, in sports as a whole, is that there's now like 5-6 teams in each league, but we can stay with baseball, that are going, no, we're going for the Holy Grail. We're going to win the World Series. And those 5 or 6 teams put a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of talent to get there. And anything other than winning a World Series is considered a failure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so the Yankees, the Mets, the Phillies, right now the Blue Jays, the Dodgers, to some extent the Padres, they spend some money. I'm probably missing a couple that spend a lot of money, and now only one of them is going to win the World Series. Those other 5 teams and the fan base may be frustrated, but that's the problem with only having, there's only one team every year once you make the playoffs that ends it with a victory, right? Everybody else in the playoffs goes home a loser on their last game. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the Mets do. Talk to me near playoff time, and I'll give you my postseason bet.
We'll reconvene back for Comic-Con.
Yeah, Comic-Con will be perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
One last question before we let you go. Like we said, a whole lot of really cool stuff out there. What's the one thing that you would say you are most excited for people to get their hands on?
I'm curious how Poppy Playtime's going to work, right? Because
about Poppy Playtime.
There's like a strong fan base there, and I mean they've had product out before, but I remember when a few years back we picked up Five Nights at Freddy's, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger to the point we now got 2 movies, right?
Yep.
So so Poppy Playtime has a chance to be kind of a surprise big hit for us, given that we're used to doing like super articulated, detailed, human, video game, God of War, Assassin's Creed, Halo. It's got to all be like, but you do the fun stuff, right? Because I remember like when we did the Five Nights at Freddy's, it was just fun, and people went for the ride. So that, and then some of the form factors you talked about earlier, at different price points. I'm curious to see whether people will go, yeah, Todd, a little sort of construction-like figure of Spawn and or some cute little thing in the blind boxes. I don't know. I'll have that. Like I said, I'll have data next year.
Yep.
And if you see more of it, you don't even have to ask a question because you'll see more of it. If you don't see any of it, then it was a dismal failure. So you might be able to just glean your answer to your question next year by what's on my shelf.
Got it.
Certainly has like a different look from like a God of War or any of that other stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is, as a toy maker, my job is to not think of anybody as a completist that they're going to buy everything that we do, but to give them a variety of brands, and then even within the brands, to give them a variety of sizes and shapes and forms and prices, and let people then put into their cart, if you will, what makes sense for them personally. But the easiest way to maybe get even a little bit of a buy-in is to give them 10 options, not just we only do it one way and you either like it or you don't like it, and that's it. Because if you don't like it, there's no other option. But if you go, I'm not gonna really buy Superman, but I don't mind it, a little cute little Superman, he's cool, man, right? Then we have a potential for a Superman body.
Well, Todd, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
and
you guys enjoy the rest of your show. Keep yourself busy. Go look at a lot of toys.
Absolutely.
Make sure you give your hand a rest at some
point. No, dude. We draw 8 hours a day. Don't worry about this.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. Subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever you listen, and then tell your friends to do it. Thanks also to Joe Azari, the golden voice behind our intro. Learn more about him in the show notes. Our music is Game Boy Horror by the Zombie Dandies.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Adventures in Collecting, and on Twitter at AIC_podcast. Stop by and say hi. Show us your hauls and photos. Tell us your toy stories. Maybe we'll talk about it on a future episode.
Don't try this at home. Void where prohibited and some assembly required. Each sold separately, not a flying toy. Consult a physician if your toy run exceeds more than 4 hours.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.